It's the time of year that any athlete in any sport yearns for, when the games mean more and the competition ratchets up. The playoffs. It's been said that the NHL playoffs are the best in sports, but hockey in general always provides a more intense physical brand of the game than is played in the regular season. For the USC Trojans, the Pac-8 playoffs are a chance to prove that the up-and-down regular season was a fluke. In the first round, they would get a chance to prove that against a familiar foe, UCLA. The Trojans swept the first 3 games against UCLA to take the Crosstown Cup with some of their best hockey of the season.
I'd say it was probably the highlight of our season so far. Those guys really battled for that win.
Maxwell has seen both sides of the rivalry as an assistant for UCLA and a head coach for USC. Maxwell does not believe his previous experience with UCLA will give his team an advantage in the series.
I just want to have the guys to remember that the way that we played, in that series and bring it to the playoffs for the Pac-8.
Before the team hits the ice in South Lake Tahoe, where the Pac-8 tournament is held, they need to get there on a bus for 8 hours. There isn't much you can do on a bus to entertain yourself for that long. But the players do the best they can, as the California landscape that rolls by changes from desert to mountains. Card games turn to studying, which inevitably turn into naps, and then back to card games. When the team finally arrives, they settle into their rooms and prepare for the next day's game.
Eggs over easy, but yeah, scrambled.
Sure.
You can see the yolk, like the very defined
Team
yolk.
jester Travis Schwartz takes to the kitchen to make one of his gourmet dinners.
Yeah, that one.
The next morning, it wasn't breakfast the Trojans were hungry for, but a win. As the team arrives at South Lake Tahoe Arena, players do their best to get into their pregame routines. Touch fire, just to taste the truth. So you're gonna die, so are you. We chase the lightning, 'cause we need to move. The Trojans know UCLA very well, but they also know they need to overcome some of their own weaknesses in order to win.
I mean, their strengths are they have a lot of fast players, but I feel like they have more weaknesses than we do. We really got to play as a unit. We have a lot of guys that like to go out there and try and put on a show, but I mean, we really excel when everyone sticks to their job.
I got a friend who walks the strip with a gun on his hip. His reason is this: if people caught a glimpse, they won't be talking shit. And he can rest his heavy fist. He got hands to take a teeth. He don't need quarters to coax him from lips. To you, this is as crazy as it gets. To the man with the bruises on his.
But toward the end of the first period, a familiar face came through for the Trojans.
And that's the way that I live. I wasn't born in a boxcar. When I die, bury me with crust on.
Jack Yanna's opening goal wouldn't be his only tally. He didn't stop at 2 either.
Kiss, kiss, kiss her. We touch fire, just taste truth, say I'm gonna die, so you, chase the light, you need more.
Deanna's 4 goals and goaltender Cameron Pott's strong game kept the Bruins at bay and allowed the Trojans to move on to the semifinals.
Touch fire.
USC forward Travis Schwartz said it took some adjusting to get used to playing conditions in Tahoe, but he was happy to get the win.
I think the air is a little thin, so everyone's a little slower, shorter shifts. But it was a little nerve-wracking at the end there, with a minute 30 left. But yeah, it was a fun game. Obviously, happy to end up on top. So.
The Trojans did not have long to celebrate because they faced off against the Cal Bears the next morning. Going into the game, players were loose even with their biggest game of the season bearing down on them. And once it's game time, coaches remind the team how they played versus UCLA.
Team all choose the losing game, so we're going to stay with the winning game.
Honor. Alright. Max, we got.
We sent UCLA packing after one game. We're going to send Cal packing after one game. What are you going to say?
Before the team takes the ice, they have one last tradition to stick to.
Yeah. Pirate song, baby. Let's go.
Is it time?
Let's go! Where's my baby? I'm here. It's almost ready for landing. Yeah, baby! Woo!
The game started at a frantic back-and-forth pace, but midway through the opening period, the Bears broke the ice. Cal would extend their lead to 2-0, until USC came back to life. Heading into the final period, the team stayed loose. And with just minutes elapsed in the third, that looseness paid off. But just like they did in the regular season, the Cal Bears would hold on for the win and move on to the finals. Trojans still had one game to play to determine third place in the Pac-8. This time, their opponent would be the Washington Huskies. At any level of college hockey, NCAA or ACHA, the season can be long. The friendships forged over 4 seasons, however, are long-lasting.
I want to get like 20% the distance at the end.
Okay, Paul, it's story
Just for
time.
fun. Like, that would be the extent of my
Okay, he's right here.
Yeah, sit down.
Heading into the final game of their season, the feeling is bittersweet. Young players look forward to a break from hockey, as do the seniors, but knowing that it's likely their last competitive hockey game is a hard fact to face.
I've been injured for a while, so it'll be nice to get a break, but I'll definitely miss it. And it's been the best time of my life, so it'll be weird adjusting to life without hockey for a little bit, but I know better things are ahead, so I think I'll just miss the teammates. It's just like a second family, and like last night, it was my last night in a hotel with all my teammates, and it was just kind of surreal to be sitting there and like, wow, this is it. And so I'm just gonna miss all the camaraderie and the brotherhood that comes with it, and that's the best part. I think all roads lead to men's league eventually, but some roads are just longer than others. But yeah, I mean, I love the game too much to completely step away. So
Their assistant coach Jerry Toy believes his team is at their best right now.
Oh, it's been an up and down season. I feel our record could be better than what it is, but at the end here, I think we are gelling where we should have been toward the middle of the season.
The team's final game against Washington would be a deluge of offense, just like their previous 2 games against the Huskies. As is the trend this season, the Trojans didn't come out of the gate strong. Down 4-1, the offense woke up. With the game tied at 4, both teams' offenses continued to click. And if you thought the third period would bring a slowdown, you were wrong. It would come down to the final minutes of the third period, when Washington broke the 5th tie of the game for good. The sound of the buzzer marked the Trojans' 4th place finish in the Pac-8. Though they were expecting more, the team fought hard throughout the season. And the hard-fought battles of the year brought together teammates and opponents, because hockey is a brotherhood for all involved.